Hello, everybody, and welcome to the finale of Living Dangerously Cheesy. I am your host, Crash. There's a reason why we're doing this a little differently. So, you're still seeing the starting soon screen on purpose. Don't worry, it's intentional. Um, so I've formatted and tweaked this stream to be kind of different, if you will. This is going to play out a little differently than what most streams are like. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to start off by doing a sort of a marathon of all the other segments that were on YouTube that have been uploaded. So that includes all the regular taste tests, plus the opening vlog. And with it, we're also going to include the bonus episode of the Pop Corner that Hadako did, which is the jalapeno cheddar popcorn. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the live segments after we marathon everything. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because this is to sort of get you caught up on everything that you missed. So this way, if you're watching this on, say, Twitch, or say you're watching this on YouTube but just didn't get a chance to watch the videos individually, now you have this convenient stream to sort of marathon everything. So that's what we're going to do. So, and this one's also going to be a little different because I'm not going to be on camera for once. Yeah. This is going to be, like, as far as, like, a live stream goes. I'm going to be on camera with the sketches and segments you're about to see, obviously. But, like, as far as, like, being live on camera for the stream, I'm not going to be live on camera. The reason why is because we are doing a tier list as one of the live segments. And rather than block up half the screen with my face, we're just going to do the tier list as the main focus of the live portion, the live segment. And then afterwards, we're going to do the bonus segments after the tier list. So, because the tier list is going to eat up, like, the bulk of it. So, but we're also going to kind of discuss some of the other stuff that was cut for time as well, too, near the end of the stream. For example, why we didn't cover the other two Flaming Hot mac and cheese products, or not Flaming Hot, but the regular Cheetos mac and cheese products, why we haven't covered those yet, and kind of some behind the scenes stories of the older Cheetos segments that we've done in the past, including some fun tidbits and information about the Cheetos Flaming Hot milkshake that we got from Marble Slab Creamery a while back, as well as, again, some other stuff. So, and by the way, this should go without saying, but I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Frito-Lay or, Cheetos as a brand or as a product. They have not paid me to say or do anything. I've just lately had a weird hyperfixation for Cheetos. Call it my ADHD overriding my senses. Call it just something strange and unusual. But lately I've just been on a Cheetos kick. So much so that I came up with the idea of this. So anyhow, so we're gonna marathon the segments. We're gonna start with the opening vlog, and then we're gonna go, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, the popcorn bit, and then day 5, which is today, the final day, being the tier list. So let's get started. Cheetos. They've been around for quite some time. Quite some time. Like, a lot older than I realized they would be around. Apparently, Cheetos was invented in 1948. That's old. That's really old. That's, like, lifetimes before I was even a concept in this galaxy. And I've noticed something about Cheetos recently. See, I was going through some of my older content, and I kind of noticed that somehow, like an actual cheetah, Cheetos has snuck its way, at least more than once, into some stuff I've done in the past. Whether that be taste tests, whether that be talking about the brand itself, or wherever it be some strange adventures like, Flaming Hot Cheetos sushi, or Flaming Hot Cheetos milkshake. Yeah. Lots of interesting ones. So Cheetos has been around, has gone around, and has somehow snuck its way into my content in the past before. So I decided, well, if I'm gonna start covering stuff more and more from Frito-Lay, specifically the people that also help out in distribution with PepsiCo that makes Mountain Dew, I ought to also dedicate at least some time to one of the snack brands that I grew up as a kid and still love to this day, Cheetos. Now, back then when I grew up, when I was a kid, and even when I was a teen in the 90s, Cheetos really was just very simplistic. You had your Puffs, you had your Crunchies, and sometimes you would have, like, fries. That was about it. There were a few flavors here and there. You had your Flamin' Hots, you had your regulars, you had your Flamin' Hots with lime, and you had occasionally something, thrown into the mix to experiment, get a little wild with it. But Cheetos was one of those things that I didn't think would pop up that often in my life as an adult, more than it does now. It's a little weird. So, as weird as this is going to sound, and I mean in an effort to maybe hopefully get recognized by yet another brand and our company, and, maybe one day get sent some freebies and goodies and, a sponsorship or a partnership or, something. We're going to talk about Cheetos for the next week. Yeah, just bear with me on this sort of experimentation. Because, look, Cheetos is a pretty tasty brand. And Cheetos, weirdly enough, has come a far and wide, strange way from when it used to just be like Puffs and fries and Crunchies. There's all sorts of crap now from Cheetos. You've got your, extra Flaming Hot Cheetos. You've got Cheetos mac and cheese. You've got Cheetos sushi. You've got Cheetos milkshakes. You've got Cheetos popcorn. You've got Cheetos pretzels. Yeah, There's pretzels now. Cheetos pretzels. There's a lot. There's even a Cheetos duster, which I would love to get my hands on one of those, but every time I try and go purchase one, they're sold out on Amazon, so I I can't buy one. I tried buying one through another famous food blogger friend, Marky Devo, and it sold out pretty quickly. So that wasn't going to be a thing, I guess, in my future. Who knows? But maybe one day I'll get a Cheetos duster and maybe I'll do like a cooking with Crash or something with it. So, regardless, Cheetos is been weirdly present in my timeline, in my life. And I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, if I'm gonna be a good, multiversal investigations officer, I kind of need to investigate why in this timeline Cheetos has been kind of showing up a lot. So that's what we're going to be doing. There's going to be about at least a week's worth of Cheetos themed content. So, some of them are going to be just very basic taste tests, including trying out some different Cheetos products, including some new stuff that I've never tried before, or kind of like fondly remembering some of the other Cheetos stuff that I've done in the past, or even like, just going over memories of previous Cheetos flavors that's come and gone. I'll probably wind up doing at least like a tier list of some kind, just for good goofs and giggles. So, and then, strangely enough, we have the return of something that I thought I was done with. I thought that I'd like been done with for a while. I thought they only made the 3 flavors. No. No. There's in fact 2 more. That's right. The Cheetos mac and cheese returns. What should have just been a 3-part saga now has multiple chapters in this ongoing saga. It's weird, I know. So, and hey, look, if the Cheetos brand and Frito-Lay happens to stumble upon any of the Cheetos stuff that I've made in the past or make during this whole week-long shtick and decide, hey, let's send this guy some Cheetos stuff, or hey, let's do a sponsorship with this guy, or hey, let's send him like some swag or something, which would be cool. But if they happen to stumble upon it, great. If not, well, I mean, it was just nice to kind of go down this weird Cheetos rabbit hole that I now have a strange fixation on for no apparent reason. So, that's the life of someone with ADHD, I guess, and being a content creator kind of goes hand in hand. So, or in this case, your orangey, dusty hands. So, and fear not, like I say, there will be taste tests. So, regardless, I figured I'd do a little introduction video, kind of explaining this. So, a little vlog, if you will, explaining why I'm doing this. And, that about does it. I'm gonna get started on filming some of this stuff, and, we will go from there. So, and, remember to live dangerously cheesy, no matter where you are. Crash, signing out. So, I kind of wanted to start off with kind of what I'm calling a day 0, if you will, of this week-long sort of thing. So, It's just so that we have a neutral like jumping off point, if you will. Um, so I'm gonna include it, I think, in the explanation video, just so that everyone is aware and of the concept and sees it in action. So we're gonna start off very simple. Regular Cheetos. Can't go wrong with regular Cheetos, right? But are they truly as cheesy as they say they are? Are they truly, absolutely, dangerously cheesy? We won't know until we try them. I don't know. I went and got a sandwich recently, and they were like, "Oh, pick out a bag of chips," and I was like, "Oh, Cheetos." So I told them, "Oh, I have a thing coming up involving Cheetos." So just regular Cheetos. Yep. Still delicious. Still cheesy. Still nice and crunchy. Still fresh. One of my favorite snacks as a kid. Absolutely love it. Still pretty solid. And honestly, to this day, I still love Cheetos. So, good Cheetos. And just like with every bag of chips, you know you only get about half a bag's worth. So, but yeah, Cheetos. Absolutely delicious. So, and of course, you gotta have that orange dust. So, dust. I know. So, that was the jumping off point. The Cheetos flavors and the Cheetos, like, curiosity and taste tests and experiments are only going to get a little bit weirder from here. So, that about does it for day 0, quote unquote. We'll see what the future holds for all these weird Cheetos taste tests. Talk to you later. Hey, welcome to the first video of what I'm calling the Living Dangerously Cheesy Week, where we're doing a weird hyperfixation on all things Cheetos. So, now, before you get started watching this, I will recommend go and watch the Crashbox highlight compilation I made on the Cheetos mac and cheese where we tried at the time 3 different flavors of Cheetos mac and cheese. Also, you should definitely check out one of the season 1 episodes of Crashbox, where we actually try a Cheetos milkshake, if you will, a flaming hot milkshake. So, from Marble Slab Creamery. Yeah. There's that. And I think a Cheetos sushi, too, from Reese's. Which still exists to this day, by the way. Anyhow, with that in mind, speaking of flaming hot, Cheetos has had a very interesting history with their flaming hot products. Have they not? They really have. In fact, there's quite a few flavors. There's the Cheetos Flaming Hot Chipotle Ranch, which I really, really loved, which used to exist, and I wish they bring that back, because that was one of my favorites. Favorites. Favorite flavors. Bleh. There is a Cheetos Crunchy with just extra Flaming Hot and extra lime, which was really good in a big mega bag. And believe it or not, in Mexico, there was a flaming hot chili and cheese Cheetos, which I wish I could have tried, but I never got around to trying. So I wish I could have. It sounded pretty great. But that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're gonna do not one, not two, but three different taste tests of Flamin' Hot Cheetos products right here, right now. Now, I'm not gonna eat a bunch of these all at once, obviously for health reasons, but I'm gonna try a nibble or two and see what I think. Now, also keep in mind, some of these I have, believe it or not, already tried in the past on like streams and stuff, but I never compilated them onto, I guess, socials like TikTok, YouTube, whatever. So we're going to get those out of the way first. The first one is Cheetos Flaming Hot Sweet Carolina Reaper. Now, these are supposed to be pretty dang good, but they're supposed to be pretty dang spicy. And I love the crunchies. Crunchies are my favorite. So, with that in mind, Sweet Carolina Reaper. Yeah. They're not bad. I'll admit, there is a little bit of heat because of the Carolina Reaper. And, you know, it is good. I almost wish it was just Carolina Reaper instead of that sweeter taste to it. Although, I'm wondering what makes it sweet is the question. I think it's some kind of caramelized sugar. Yeah, that's what it is. There's some kind of caramelized sugar and honey in it. Yeah, there's honey. So, but interestingly enough, it also has monetary jack cheese and Swiss cheese in there. So, I would have liked it without the honey taste. Yeah. So, if it wasn't for the caramelized honey flavor to it, I would have enjoyed these more because I just like heat. I like actual spicy, but they're not bad. Next up, we're trying the Tangy Chili Fusion. Now, these still exist. I know for a fact that these ones, compared to the other ones, do still exist. And they're supposed to be, again, pretty good. I've tried these once or twice, off camera and on streams and other stuff. But these are actually good because you get that chili, like, flavor in it, like, right away before you taste the flaming hot. I like that. Which is nice because I like the taste of chilies. Now, I also grew up in a desert state, so, you know, I also really like the idea of something with a little more of that peppery taste to it. And this hits that spot pretty well while still retaining that flaming hot quality. Interestingly enough, it includes chili peppers and red peppers, and a taste of red bell peppers in there, plus a little bit of paprika and jalapeno peppers. So, not bad. Not bad overall. Oh, it's probably what I'm tasting is the paprika. But pretty good. And now, finally, the brand new one. I have not opened these yet. I hear they're good. They're the hottest ever Flaming Hot Cheetos Pepper Puffs. I have not tried these. I'm not usually a fan of the puffs. I'm not going to lie. I like the crunchies, and I like the popcorn. Those are my favorites. The popcorn and the crunchies are my favorite. The puffs are okay, and the mac and cheese is definitely an experience, to say the least. But we're going to try them. Ooh, they look big. Ooh, they smell spicy. Woo. All right. That fresh bag smell. Anyhow, these are the pepper puffs. Let's try them. Oh, yeah. There it is, right? Yep. Ooh. Okay. That kick comes in a little slow at first, but it rises up. It's not bad. It's actually like a very subtle kind of like taste to it. And it is definitely hot, to say the least. Like, it's definitely got some heat to it. Are they spicier than, say, some of the other Cheetos products? No. You could easily handle these. If you've eaten, like, the extra, extra Flaming Hots, you could handle these. These are fine. But they're not bad. I like them. So, anyhow. So, Cheetos has had a weird history of Flaming Hot stuff. If you want to watch more Flamin' Hot stuff I've done in the past, there's other stuff you can find on the socials, including the milkshake and the sushi. So, we'll be back with more Cheetos products and interesting stuff as part of our Living Dangerously Cheesy week. Till then, crash out. Well, there you go, chat. That's a perfect segue into a little bit of a break from all of this. Yeah. Little bonus commentary before we jump into a BRB for real. Fun fact. So, I had been planning this Living Dangerously Cheesy thing for a little while. Not a long time, but just a tiny bit. And with it, originally, I wanted to try some of the more, like, weirder stuff, like the one-off stuff. So again, like the milkshake, the mac and cheeses, the sushi, stuff like that. But what wound up happening was I repurposed some of those segments into Crashbox segments. My series that's on YouTube. And so I was like, oh, well, I mean, I'm doing an episode about Flaming Hot stuff. I'm doing an episode about, like, specific snacks. I got sent a thing from Mountain Dew. I might as well do this, do that, do this, do that. So forth. So, yeah. That's kind of what wound up happening. Is I wound up actually, weirdly enough, getting, at the time, a lot of Flaming Hot related products. Because around the same time as when I tried the Flaming Hot Mac and Cheese Cheetos, there was also the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew that we previously tried. And my family wanted to try it, my friends wanted to try it, a lot of people tried it, so forth. and that wound up becoming weirdly enough episode 7 of the Crash Box. So um which is odd because I wasn't planning on it to kind of happen that way, but it did. So, and it was interesting to say the least. So, so yeah, I would have to edit it, because I don't have the actual like original footage anymore. But I do have, if you go to episode 7 of Crashbox on YouTube, um, it's about maybe 32 minutes in. The Marble Slab Creamery Flaming Hot Cheetos milkshake. The taste test for it is there. So, and I tried it. It's bizarre. And I also cooked the Flaming Hot Cheetos mac and cheese. So, yeah. There was a lot of segments that was in that one. So, um but yes, there you go. Um, so there's that. Um, so with that in mind, what we're gonna do now is I'm going to play some music, and we're gonna take a quick break so that I can run some ads on Twitch and also use the restroom and freshen up. But when we come back, we're gonna continue the marathon of these segments. We have the Cheetos crunchy buffalo. We have the Cheetos pretzels. And then we have the Cheetos jalapeno cheddar popcorn. So there's quite a bit to chew through, quite literally. So so don't go too far. We will be back momentarily. I promise. Probably in the next like 3 to 5 minutes at most. So, see you soon. Woo! Hey chat, welcome back. Um, so we're back, and we're going to play the next batch of segments that you may have missed. Um, so yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we've got the crunchy buffalo one next, the pretzels next, and the bonus popcorner episode with the Cheetos jalapeno cheddar popcorn. So, anyhow, enjoy. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Living Dangerously Cheesy, where we kind of dive into the deep rabbit hole and hyperfixation that is all things Cheetos for about a week. Don't know why, I just kind of found it interesting. So, um, so Cheetos has always been a brand that has always tried to innovate with different, weird, sort of interesting variants of its concoctions, with different flavors. And they've had a lot of different flavors over the years that I've enjoyed and ones that I think are okay. They've had ones that are regular, ones that are flaming hot, and ones that are just special and unique in between. Well, this one's going to be a short one because this is another taste test, but this was a recent one that came out that I guess there was some hype about it online because it's supposed to taste as if you're eating like buffalo wings, which I know so many people in the United States and particularly in many countries are like, oh, buffalo wings are like the best food in the world. And, I love the salt and the sauce and the meat and sports. And with, the biggest day in sports coming up, I figured I'd try it. So, anyhow, with that in mind, this was also recommended by some coworkers too. So, we've got the Cheetos Crunchy Buffalo flavor. Now, again, I'm not sure if it's supposed to taste just like buffalo sauce or like buffalo wings. But it's supposed to taste something to that effect. So, I'm looking at the list of ingredients in this one. Just to kind of see if I can kind of beat it to the punch a little bit. I guess it's just supposed to taste like buffalo sauce. We're gonna find out. So, haven't opened it yet. Bought it the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheetos Crunchy Buffalo. Dangerously cheesy. Huh. You know, the more I think about it, the more that tastes like buffalo sauce than it is a buffalo wing. Like, it's weird because There's actually some kind of like cream cheese involved in this flavor too. And like that sort of like onion powder and that sort of like almost blue cheesy like taste that you would get when going to say like B Dubs or like Chili's or any sort of place that does wings. So they do taste decent, but I feel like I taste more like hints of buffalo sauce flavor. So, but yeah, they're all right. A little underwhelming, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, look, just because I'm doing a week-long thing of Cheetos-related stuff doesn't mean I'm not gonna be uncut and honest. This is kind of just underwhelming and okay. And I even just ate a couple, so like I taste the buffalo sauce, but I also just taste mostly salt. So I think there's like a little hint of that, you know, Cheetos like cheesy flavor to it, but not much. So I mean, I'll probably continue to snack on these while I'm streaming or something, you know, for a while. So since these just came out, stash them away. Kind of put them right there. But yeah, they're all right. So, I guess a lot of my friends and people like them. So, and coworkers like them. So, but that does it for this one. So, we still got more Cheetos themed stuff along the way, including a particular new episode of a popcorn themed series that my partner started a while back that I didn't know much about. So expect that soon. So crash out. Cheetos. They're still dangerously cheesy. They're still experimental. And they're still a little weird sometimes. But that's why we love them. So welcome back to what I'm still calling living dangerously cheesy. And for this taste test segment, I found something out that was kind of new and unique. Cheetos has done regular chips. Cheetos has done fries. Cheetos has done popcorn. Cheetos has done puffs. Cheetos has done just about everything. But you know that they do pretzels now? Yeah. Cheetos pretzels. Now they only have two flavors. They have regular cheesy, and then they have flamin' hot. So, we're cracking both of these bad boys open today and seeing how they are. So, we're gonna try them and see if they're worth the time. I'm gonna try the cheesy ones first, by the way, so you know. I can tell you right now, they are very coated in Cheetos dust too, by the way. Like, look at these. Look at these pretzels. They may not seem it, but like, these things are really cheesy and really covered in the Cheetos dust. You know, their signature style. So, let's give them a munch and see if they're pretty good. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. I like them. I mean, you definitely get the same Cheetos taste and dust powdered flavor you would on any of their snacks. But for like a bag of mini pretzels, they're not bad. Now, I will say this. They're a little overly salty. I mean, 10 pretzels is about 350 milligrams of salt. So maybe if they cut back a little bit on the salt and just made the pretzels unsalted first and then added the Cheetos dust, it would have been a little better. But, I mean, for pretzels, not bad. If you like pretzels like I do, me personally, I'm a bigger fan of like soft baked pretzels myself, not like, like snack pretzels like these. These would still be good to say like sneak into a movie theater or take out on a picnic or like take to like a March Madness game or something. Who knows? But they're not bad. So, but now comes the spicy boys. We need to see if these do well with the flaming hot coating. So, which they have like 1% extra more salt in them. Or just 1% extra salt. Probably because of the flaming hot coating. But let's try them. Oh yeah, you could tell. You could tell these things are definitely coated. So, anyhow. Weirdly enough, I almost like these a little more. Call it strange, but the amount of crunch in these pretzels combined with the flaming hot dust actually makes it a little more satisfying. Like, these are better than those. And, I mean, it's not just because of the heat, too. But, like, I feel like these are a lot more coated. Like, even if you look in the bag, you could see these are way more coated. But, like, the cheesy ones, I feel like are coated, but they're not, like, as coated. So, yeah, no. I actually like these a little more. They're decent snacks. I really can't complain too much. I mean, yeah, I like them. So, I would probably still go out of my way to get like other Cheetos snacks over these. Me personally, as far as the Cheetos brand goes, I still prefer my popcorn the most. But aside from that, this is not as bad. Now, only problem, you can only eat about 10 at a time per serving size. So, they're meant to be obviously a crunchier, heftier snack compared to, say, the popcorn that you could eat a lot more of, or even the regular Cheetos, the crunchies, or even the puffs that you could eat more of too. So that's kind of a downfall. So if you're trying to like, watch the carbs and salt a little bit, maybe avoid these as much. Maybe have maybe have like a small handful with like a lunch. So, and yeah, that about does it for this one. I'll see you guys for the next one.
Hello, and welcome to a very early, sleepy, sort of low key edition of the Popcorner. I just woke up, um, and he's been up for a little bit, but not much. I don't know. You got up, what, maybe an hour ago? Yeah, about that ish, but I wound up falling back asleep a little bit. Not a big deal. Um, so I had heard that he was doing a Cheetos vlog experiment thing. I don't really care. Um but I went to go grab popcorn recently for myself, and one of the popcorns that he actually really likes, ironically enough, is a Cheetos popcorn. And I didn't know Cheetos made popcorn up until recently. Yeah, they've done it for a little bit now. They only have, I think, 3 flavors. But we only wound up buying the one bag, one flavor, because it's my favorite one. And I've been snacking on it while binging on TV shows and stuff. So I wasn't going to include it in the week-long blog thing, I don't think. So, but then she was like, well, we could throw it in as a popcorner episode because, popcorn. And she likes popcorn. Yeah. So, so consider it a bonus Cheetos related thing, maybe. I don't know how this is all gonna fit. Anyhow, Cheetos popcorn, cheddar jalapeno. I'm gonna try it because apparently he really likes it. I do really like it. It's my favorite flavor. I'm just gonna here. Oh yeah, here. Hang on. I got you. There we go. See? Popcorn meets Cheetos. It's a Cheetos thing. There. Grabbing some popcorn now. Trying it. Interestingly enough, it really does look like just they threw the Cheetos dust on popcorn and just kind of called it a day. As you can tell, even just from me turning on the light. Yeah, it really is just Cheetos dust. But, I mean, I like it. It tastes good, and I like the little taste of jalapeno in it. Like, it does taste cheesy, and I do taste jalapeno. It's not bad. It's not my favorite popcorn by any means, but I mean, it will suffice. I personally like it. I do like the other 2 flavors as well too, but this one's my favorite out of the Cheetos ones. So, but I know you also like the Lesser Evil and Smart Food brands a lot more. And I don't know, did you ever try Skinny Pop? I don't think I have. Okay. So, anyhow, yeah, so, it's alright. He really likes it. I think it's okay. Gets the job done. That about does it for this one. See y'all around. Love y'all. Bye.
So there you go, chat. Uh, that was the crunchy buffalo. That was the pretzels, and that was the jalapeno cheddar popcorn. Um, so some little bonus trivia, if you will. Um, so I had planned to actually separately do all three of the different popcorn flavors. It was going to be the jalapeno cheddar, it was going to be the regular cheesy, and it was going to be the flaming hot. But I just sort of ran out of time, and I didn't have the budget at the time to do additional flavors. So, so there's a good chance that Living Dangerously Cheesy might come back in the future, because there's a lot of Cheetos stuff, um, and a lot of different Cheetos flavors out there in the world, including a just metric crap ton that have been either discontinued, or there's ones, not a whole ton of them, but there are like a small handful of ones that are like region exclusive flavors, or like flavors exclusively in other countries. Um so like there's one that it's not a popcorn one, but there is one that's like a Cheetos like chili cheeseburger, or it was like a chili cheese like coney almost. So, and then there's one that's like cheesy barbecue, and like uh there's like, the holiday edition ones where they've got like, the sweet ones, the ones that are really sweet. So, but there's a lot, weirdly enough. Kind of similar to how like there's a whole subculture of just different Mountain Dew flavors. There's a whole subculture of like Cheetos flavors. So, um also, I guess a little bonus one. I originally had planned to include the Chester's fries. I had the budget, I just didn't have the time. So, the Chester's fries was going to be something I'd try at some point. So, um, so yeah, there's that, and we're gonna run one more quick break. We do a quick stretch, and then I'm gonna prepare the tier list. So the tier list that I found doesn't include, strangely enough, some of the recent flavors. I had thought that it did. So I have to actually modify the tier list to include those. So, um, you can even hear me typing as I'm doing this. But, yeah, it's a little weird. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna, um, do that and take care of it and do a tier list. So, um, I did find an ultimate tier list, one that has like a bunch of Cheetos products. But keep in mind, it's not gonna have like every single Cheetos product. It's gonna have just a large chunk of them. So if there's ones that are missing in the tier list, I'm sorry, but I will do my best. So, anyhow, we're gonna be right back, and when we come back, we're gonna do the live tier list and go from there. So stick around. Hey, chat. So, we're back. So I have officially set up the tier list. I made a few modifications to it, mostly adding some stuff that I've recently tried as well too, both on camera and off camera. The only thing I think I forgot to add real quick was the pretzels. Yes, that is one thing I forgot to add. All right, so Cheetos, pretzels. I need to grab the images for that. So give me one sec, as this won't take long. I literally just have to grab screenshots and add them to the playlist. The tier list playlist. That's the one thing that's a pain in the ass, though, when doing these freaking, tier lists sometimes, is that they're not perfect. They don't have everything that you typically need, but that is okay. Sometimes you just don't have everything. So, okay. That should be it. So I'm gonna do this as a separate window because we don't need that in our lives right now. Okay. So let us begin the final day. The final segment day, if you will. Not the actual last segment of the stream. We still got some stuff after the tier list, but like the day 5, if you will, the final day. So, bam. All right. So, need to get a window capture up, which I'm going to do right meow. Cheetos. All right, here we go. Cheetos. I'm gonna fix that, and boom, Cheetos. Yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of Cheetos. Way too much Cheetos. Look at all this crap. I even added the popcorns that were missing and the pretzels. So, this was the best tier list that I could find. Because all the other tier lists that I found only included like a very small handful of either like the most popular flavors or like were either just the mac and cheeses or were just like the generic flavors. They weren't like the, you know, every flavor. This one has like almost every flavor to it. So now I've also tried actually not all of these, but I'm going to say a good chunk of them in the past, either when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, when I was whatever. So, some of these I'm going to go based on memory as well, too. I will also say this now. The mac and cheese is not on here for a very specific reason. I want to do a tier list and ranking of the mac and cheeses separately is the point. I don't want to, as weird as it's going to sound, I don't want the mac and cheeses to count with this because the way I see it, a lot of these products are mostly chips or at the very least some kind of snack. So we're talking pretzels, popcorn, puffs, crunchies, maybe crisps even, so forth. So that is the idea, is these Cheetos are very much like their own thing. The mac and cheese, if it's being treated as a separate thing, then I'm going to treat it as a separate thing. So, anyhow, with that in mind, let us begin. Now, I am also going to add one more thing. Add a row below. Never had these before. Boom. We're going to move you down. And we're going to delete that. There we go. So, perfect. Also, I'm going to delete this. We don't need an SS rank. A standard, you know, S, A, B, C, D is pretty sufficient. So let's begin. And if you guys want music on while I'm doing this, let me know. You know, so yeah. I figured, like I said, this is gonna be weird because for once I'm not on camera live doing this. I just figured change it up a little bit. So, here we go. Cheese. Oh, cheese. Let's go and do this. Let's start off easy. Never had these 100 calorie ones before. I assume they are a much thinner, lighter Cheetos. That's probably sold at one point, but never had them. So, Bag of Bones. I've had these. I had these once. Boom and boom. So Bag of Bones is one that they release during Halloween, usually. Cheetos likes to do stuff during the Halloween month. But the problem is that with Cheetos, Cheetos never does anything like unique or new or interesting with Halloween flavors. They just sort of like take existing flavors and then reshape them into like spooky shapes. And that's kind of it. So they taste the same as any other standard Cheetos product, but they're just reshaped. So I think they only ever did something once that was unique. And that's why I put the white cheddar ones in B, because I remember them being a lot sweeter. So they had a much like sweeter powder to them for them being a white cheddar, but they were good. Whereas the Flaming Hot Bag of Bones really was just their Bag of Bones Cheetos, but Flaming Hot. So it wasn't anything too crazy, but like it's about the same. So I almost liked the white cheddar sweetness to it. It was something different and unique. So that's why it gets like a rank above. So Bag of Bones goes in B, while the Flaming Hot variant goes in C. Baked Cheetos. These are good. I like them. I like the baked flavor. They're lighter. They're actually a lot crunchier and crispier. I think they were a little thinner too. I remember having these, and I think baked Cheetos are technically still around, but they're just, there's a new formula for them. I think they're even around here somewhere on the tier list. I would assume that they are, but I guess not. Weird. Well, regardless, they still exist. And, okay, so there's the Simplies. I'm thinking the Simplies. Okay. So the Simply ones are similar, but they're still regular Cheetos. Whereas the baked ones are, think like air-fried Cheetos, basically. They're a little bit crunchier and crispier. And I do like them a lot. But the reason why they're in B is because they're still the same standard Cheetos, just cooked a different way. That's all it is. So it's not like anything too crazy, but at the same time, it's like, it's still solid. So there's that. Never had these. So, can't tell you. I'm gonna zoom in real quick, because try to remember what those are. Cheddar jalapeno. Okay. Get ready for a bold take. S rank. Okay. That's why I say get ready for a bold take. It's our first S tier. Regular Cheetos are fantastic. They're great. They're a good flavor. Can't go wrong with just that classic cheesy crunchy taste. But as a kid, I always wanted my Cheetos to have a little more to it. Just that little extra something. Didn't have to be anything big or fantastic or wild. Just something a tiny, tiny, tiny bit extra. And that's all I wanted. And then cheddar jalapeno came around. Now I remember them when they were first only 99 cents a bag. And I tried them. And I remember eating these constantly. More than the other Cheetos. Like, we're talking more than the Flaming Hots, more than the regular Crunchies, more than the Puffs, more than any other flavor. Except for one. But it was delicious. And they're still around, by the way. That's the best part. So, like, cheddar jalapeno was so successful that they just made it a permanent flavor. And they were like, Oh shit, if people like these, then might as well keep them around. So that's what they did. And you can find cheddar jalapenos pretty much anywhere. But the level of cheese with the level of jalapeno taste is amazing. Almost to the point where, and I'm snacking on them right now, I still have the Cheetos cheddar jalapeno popcorn. They were so successful that they took the cheddar jalapeno flavor and added it into other stuff. Like, you can hear me snacking on the popcorn now. Cheddar jalapeno is S tier. I remember trying these once. The cheese and bacon balls. So, if you watch the videos, you'll know that I'm not a fan of the puffs. Puffs are not like my favorite thing. There's something about the puffs that I just don't like. But, I thought, oh, these might be interesting. And I tried them once, I think from a friend. And I thought, okay, well, they've made Cheetos like balls before. Like, almost like snack balls. You know, and they're kind of similar to the puffs, but a little more, I guess, denser. They're supposed to be pretty good. Tried them. Not enough cheese flavor. Still a little too airy. And I remember not liking them because the bacon flavor didn't really, like, either there wasn't enough bacon flavor or there was, like, a hint of bacon flavor. And it just wasn't enough. And I remember not liking them despite being hyped for them. So the cheese and bacon balls, immediate, like, D tier. Just no thank you. I tried these once. The cheesy cheddar barbecue. Once. And I thought that they were decent. I wouldn't say they're A tier. Only because I haven't had them in so long. I remember trying them once when me and my mom went grocery shopping one time for school. And I got to pick out a snack for the house. Like one snack. And I was like, I want to try these. These sound good. And so I grabbed a bag. And I remember we got invited to a barbecue with the neighbors. I think this is back when I lived in Texas. And I tried them. And I was like, these would go great with like a hamburger or like pulled pork. And when you eat these paired up with like a barbecue, you know, with like baked beans and coleslaw and ribs and barbecued chicken, pulled pork and hamburger and hot dogs and all that, they're immediately in A tier. But on their own, they're about, I would say, a high B. I would actually eat these probably more than the bag of bones. So, but yeah, high B tier. Close to A. Our first spicy boy. Chili lemon was perfect because everything had to be flaming hot with Cheetos because flaming hot is just their cash cow. Everyone loves flaming hot. But like there's no better way to describe it other than while everything else was flaming hot, chili lemon was that sort of unique Cheetos blend that still had the crunchy texture of like regular crunchy Cheetos, but like the chili flavor was actually pretty good and the lemon flavor was not like overpowering. It was just like, I don't want to say the word squirt because that's not the correct word, but it was like a small dose of lemon. It wasn't an overpowering lemon. And I remember loving these. And I think they still exist. I could be wrong. Like, let me look them up real quick. I have like 25 tabs. So they still do, kinda. There's the flamin' hot lemon flavor, is what I guess they got rebranded into. But like, they're still good, and I still love them. And they're like, they're not extra extra hot. They're just a regular hot, and they're just pretty good. Like, there's no best way to describe it. It's just they're just a good flaming hot balance with lemon and hotness. So, A tier. I like them. Never had these. Okay. The crackers. The Cheetos crackers. I forgot about these. So, imagine if you took those packets of like cheese sandwich crackers from like Ritz and then just did them Cheetos style. They were okay. I was a little disappointed because actually I'm going to modify this. Because I was expecting them to have like the Cheetos dust inside the crackers or the Cheetos dust like all over the crackers. They did not. And I tried them and I was like, again, this was off camera years and years and years ago. And I tried them and I was like, this just tastes like regular cheese crackers. Even the bacon cheddar ones do too. Like there's a little hint of bacon, but not much. I don't understand what makes these special. If I wanted cheese crackers, I could just buy Ritz cheese crackers for a little cheaper at like the dollar store, at like the 99-cent store. And that's it. There wasn't anything special about them. So I didn't like them as much as I thought I would. So moving on. What was this? Crunchy Twisted. I had these once. They were good. They weren't like the best thing in the whole world, but I really like just the basic crunchy Cheetos. And to me, these were literally the exact thing, but just curled up and twisted. Almost like you were eating, imagine like a Cheetos curly fry, is what these were. And you know what? They were good. Also, you know what? I'm just going to get this out of the way too. Boom. Just so you all understand. Regular, crunchy, Basic ass Cheetos. A tier. Just, you could have them on a boat. You could have them in your car. You could have them on the dance floor. You could have them in your car. You could have them in the park. You can have them with a picnic. You can have them in your car. You can have them in bed. You can have them at school. You can have them in your car. Just, you can have them on a sandwich. You can have them in a quesadilla. You could have them in a milkshake. You could have them in your car. Cheetos Crunchy. Just basic crunchy Cheetos. Delicious. And the reason why the Twisteds are right there is because the only difference between the regular Crunchies and the Twisteds is the fact that they're just twisted. They're just, what if we took the Cheetos Crunchies but twisted them like a curly fry? Easy change. Simple. I love it. I assume these were for Easter. And I assume they were the same almost as like any other Cheetos. I think I had these. I never had these before. I've never had Cheetos eggs. But I wouldn't mind trying them. Actually, you know what? Here. There you go. Modified it slightly. But I would assume they're just around for like the Easter time. So, which is funny because the stream is going up like before Easter. Funny because I haven't seen them in stores. I guess they never brought them back or were just kind of a one-time thing, but I guess Cheetos in the shape of eggs. Also, speaking of flavors that I've never had that I wish to try. Cheesy enchilada sounds so amazing. I'm gonna do a new row. Hang on. I'm gonna do a brand new row. Give me 1 sec. I gotta add a row. How do I gotta click the gear. Add a row below. I'm gonna do this real quick. There you go. A whole brand new section. I would devour these and love them, but I've never tried them. So that just shows you that there are even some flavors, even as a kid, that I never had. And I freaking wish I had these. Like, my God, they do sound pretty good. So I don't know what else to say other than just they sound tasty. By the way, another hot take. Hear me out. Again, I love it when brands do something way out of their comfort zone, but keeps the same idea. And I remember also completely devouring these when they existed. And they were so good. Because it had that little bit of cheese flavor from Cheetos. It still had cheese. The Chipotle sauce was actually really good. And that little bit of ranch taste balanced it out perfectly. And I remember violently destroying a bag or two of these. Like a feral raccoon at that point. The Chipotle ranches are so good. I wonder, I don't think they exist still. I know they've probably been discontinued for like a long time. But yeah, they're definitely discontinued. But man, I wish they would come back. Like they were actually just really good. I'm sad. And they were in a very limited release. But like uh sad. That's okay. Cheetos, if you're listening, just bring them back. Just for another limited run. That's all I ask. You don't have to bring them back permanently. Just for a small limited run batch. That's all I ask. Let's bring them back. I think these are the crackers again. Yeah, yeah. No, we're fine. Um, crackers are gonna go to the same spot. Okay, so time for a hot take, quite literally. Um, I like the regular flaming hot more than I like the lime one. Here's why. Because here's the thing. The chili lemon was a unique, different flavor. It wasn't just flaming hot. It had an actual little taste of chili with lemon. Regular flaming hot on its own is fantastic. And I definitely will catch myself occasionally snacking on some. But the lime, I don't know what it is, but they always just add too much lime in the flaming hot with lime ones. It's weird. And like it's almost the same experience that I had with the Mountain Dew flaming hot soda, where the lime one pairs well with certain foods, like again, Mexican cuisine, like enchiladas, tacos, burritos, stuff like that. But the regular flaming hots pair better with like again, like brisket barbecue, like meats sort of. And I like the limes. And I will still eat them on occasion too. But the regular Flaming Hot Cheetos are a step above that. Just because it's a simple formula, you don't need to mess with it too much. The lime is good, but it almost, there's just, they always add too much lime into it. If they just cut back on the lime a little more with those, they would have probably gone in A tier. But we're going to keep moving. Out of all the puffs, the Flaming Hot Puffs are the most kind of inoffensive of them all. If I had to eat puffs, I'll take the Flaming Hot Puffs. I would rather take the Flaming Hot Bag of Bones any day because there's more of an actual, like, I guess I just really like the crunchy texture of it, like the hard crunch versus like that airy poofy kind of texture. And that's what it really boils down to, is the texture. Same flavor, different shape and texture. There's really not much to read else behind that. So we're moving on. Fiery Fusion. Okay. This was one. Okay. I wonder. Fiery Fusion. I remember these. I kind of remember these. No, I'm not. That's not what I want. I don't want cash back. I remember these. These were back in 2011. So it's not like these were like gone forever. But they were there for a little while. I remember these because he has this was different. This wasn't just like the regular like flaming hot flavor. This was like a little different because it's a very slow burning, almost like blend with actual herbs and spices to it. This one was unique. It had like cayenne pepper, vinegar, paprika, and like other weird flavors to it. Almost kind of like almost like a Thai fusion taste to it. I remember actually liking these. Um I'm going to put them in a low A tier because I do remember liking them. I do remember having them and trying them. I remember getting maybe a couple bags every now and then, but that was it. I never like went out of my way to get them, but if I would see them, I would get a small bag and be like, yeah, why not? These are good. So they were just, again, I like those bolder, unique combinations of flavors. Not all of them consistently work, but most of the time they usually hit the mark. So most of the unique flavors, you're going to wind up seeing at least a good chunk of them on either S, A, or B rank. I'm letting you know right now. Anything that's just kind of one note or say a combination that just doesn't work is going to be usually between B, C, and D. Okay, they still make the baked Cheetos. So, I will put them right behind the Twisteds. Because here's the thing. I like flaming hot Cheetos. I do. I in fact enjoy them. In fact, here, where are the regular flaming hots? They should be on here. I'm not looking for like uh if they're not on here, I'm actually going to be kind of concerned. I think I already ranked them. Yeah, okay. So they're right here. Okay. So I'm going to put them. There we go. So I just moved it slightly. So I like the bakes a lot more because, again, they're air fried. They're a lot crunchier. And there's just a thinner, crispier, like satisfying, like taste to them over the regulars. Um, but I do love the regulars as well, too. So they're like neck and neck. So A tier, easily. Flavor shots still exist. They're okay. If you need like a quick shot of like flaming hot Cheetos that they're still crunchy but in like much smaller like bites, essentially almost crumb size, or just something to kind of like throw in your pocket. That's what they're there for. They're there's nothing too crazy about them, and they're usually pretty dirt cheap, but there's just something more satisfying about having like just a full bag of Cheetos compared to like something that you could throw in a bento box or something that you throw in like a kid's lunchbox or something. So, I mean, not to say you can't do that with regular Cheetos either, but if you're like wanting something for, say, like a workout or a hike or something, you're gonna bring the flavor shots. So they're decent. I had the Giants once. Actually, I never even had the Giants now that I think about it. I've never had the Giants. I wonder what the Giants were like. I'm not sure. Also, I don't even know what this one is. Let me do an image reverse search on this next one. The Giants I've just never had. Flat out. So, hang on. Can I do... Nope. Okay. I don't even know what... I don't know what those are. I can't... I guess there's some kind of flaming hot flavor shots. I don't know what they are. So I can't tell you. Honey barbecue was... It was okay. Step in the right direction for puffs. I remember trying them once. They're actually really tasty, but I just don't like the puffs. That's my only like gripe, is I'm just not a puffs fan. But I will say this, it was definitely like I said, a step in the right direction with that sort of like, let's do something unique and a different combo, something that like, you know, stands out a bit beyond just Cheetos and just the cheese. And I remember them being really surprisingly like coated. So the honey barbecues are actually pretty decent. In fact, I will make those one exception because of the combination of unique flavors. It goes in B. I tried them a couple times and they were decent. Never had these. I assume they're region exclusive. What the heck is this? Cheetos something. Hornados, bolo queso. Hornados. I've never had these. These are all exclusives. Um, I've never had any of these, and I've never had any of these either. So I mean, I hate to do this, but I've never had any of the Hornados. They sound good and unique. I've just never had them. And I've never had any of these like Japanese or Chinese or Korean flavors. So they all sound good, but just never had them. I remember these as a gimmick. I yes, I actually remember these. In fact, let me Google it real quick. Color changing Cheetos. Yeah, I remember these existing. Yeah. So essentially what it was is these were Cheetos that essentially were just regular Cheetos, right? With a regular taste. And the only difference is that they had like extra dye in them and they would turn your tongue a different color. Because you got to remember back then in like the 90s, like a lot of snack companies had like gimmicks. not just flavor gimmicks, but like physical gimmicks. And one of those gimmicks was, oh, well, it would just turn your tongue green or blue or purple. Like, same with any of the, um, like the ketchups back then that did the same thing. It wasn't anything crazy, I will say that, but it was fun. And it was always, hilarious to show your parents and, and be like, hey, mom, dad, look what happened to my tongue. That type of thing. So, so I wouldn't say anything bad, but at the end of the day, they were just basic Cheetos. They didn't offer anything that stood out other than the gimmick, and you were only buying them for the gimmick. So, because of that, B tier. Not that it wasn't a bad gimmick, it was a novelty gimmick. We're going to move on. I've had the mix-ups. And the mix-ups were actually interesting. I think the mix-ups no longer exist. Yeah. No, they still do. No, they're still around. They exist, but they're out of stock. But yeah, no, I actually remember these. Again, a gimmick is what they are. They're a gimmick Cheetos. So, not that they're a bad thing, but it's the same Cheetos, but now you've got nacho cheese flavored, cheddar, double cheddar, and Parmesan. So it was pretty decent, and it was a worthy variety. So here's how we're gonna do this. The mix-ups, the cheesy ones, will go in A. The flaming hot ones will go kind of in B. And the extra cheesies, about the same. Low A. I would say a low B. So, crunchy mozzarella. I never had these, but I would love these if I got to try them. They probably taste so good. So, also the white puffs, the white cheddar puffs. I'm going to put those in probably C. Again, not a big fan of the puffs. Cheetos has done white cheddar crunchies before that are just superior. I would rather get those over puffs. Mainly a texture thing. The paws are okay. They're about the same texture as, say, the bag of bones are. I would probably put them in B, kind of next to the white cheddar ones, because it's the same gimmick, just different shapes. You're not missing much with that. Cheesy pizza. Okay. This was, and I said this, I will make some exceptions for the puffs. This is the one Puffs flavor that gets an A tier. These were good. They're not S tier, but they're good. The only reason why they're not S tier is because I just prefer crunchies over puffs. But man, this actually tasted like a real cheese pizza. Like, it even had I wouldn't say sauce in the Cheetos, but like you could taste the tomato and the herbs and spices in the dust or the powder that they had. And it actually tasted like pizza. Like these shits were fantastic. So they go in A tier. They're the one exception I will make to the puffs. The other puffs are just kind of there. Cheetos popcorn. Be mad at me all you want. I love Cheetos popcorn. In fact, we're going to get the popcorns out of the way. I'm going to do them now. I'm just going to get them out of the way. I would say B tier for the Flaming Hot popcorn. Cheddar jalapeno is S tier. You can fight me on that. I'm going to put the regular Cheetos popcorns in A tier. And the cinnamon sugar ones, I think I actually did record something on these. I just don't know if I ever aired it. Or maybe the babe recorded it, because she does all the popcorn stuff. I'm actually... Okay. Let me grab the babe real quick. Hang on. Babe. Yeah? Can you come here real quick, please? Please? Come in. Yeah, what's up? The other Cheetos popcorns. Yeah? What about them? Didn't you try the cinnamon sugar ones? Yes. You need to move that up to A tier. Okay, moving them up to A tier. What about the cheddar jalapenos? What would you rank those? It's your tier list. I would say B tier for those. And A tier for the cinnamon sugars. I haven't tried the flaming hots. And I haven't tried the regulars. But I remember trying the cinnamon sugar one with you. And actually really liking those. Like, a lot. Like, we destroyed that bag. So, A tier I'm fine with. I would personally swap them. Swap them? Swap them. Okay, just for you. Swapped. That's your nomination? That's my nomination. Because, okay, so I guess we can talk about this, a little bonus trivia. I remember, and I thought I did record a popcorner with the cinnamon sugars. I don't think we haven't uploaded it yet. But if I find it, we'll have to upload it. But I remember liking them a lot and destroying them. You were there when we binge watched the couple movies with some of my friends. Yes, I remember. Yes. So these were good. You like the cheddar jalapenos a lot more than I do. But that's you. I would say move the regular cheddars to probably B tier from what I remember you telling me about them and how much you liked them. But I remember you liking the cheddar jalapeno more. Okay. I'm going to do that then. Okay. You good? I'm good. Mwah. I love you. Love you too. Holler if you need anything. So there you go. Cinnamon sugar popcorn, S tier. Because, again, from her own words, we just fucking demolished them. The cheddar jalapeno, which I'm currently snacking on, is A tier. And the regular and flaming hots are B tier. Oh. I'm going to do a low A tier. Low A tier. for the regulars. Actually, you know what? There we go. That feels better. That feels better. I'm actually going to do this. I would say, because I really do like the popcorns. There we go. Okay. Puffs, regular puffs, D tier. I don't like them. They're standard. They're basic. They're puffs. Not a puffs guy. Moving on. There's another mix-ups. What? With Despicable Me. What the fuck? Mix-ups. Minions. Cheetos mix-ups and Despicable Me. That was a thing? What? What? Like, chat, you need to, like, watch this with me. Hang on. I didn't know this was a thing. From 10 years ago. Holy crap. Alright, hang on. Give me a moment. Let me make sure it plays the commercial. Hang on.
Mayhem, the ultimate mix-up.
Okay, hang on. So, alright. Let me do this. Hang on. I didn't even know these were a thing. Okay. Okay. And they have a bunch of puffs. Okay. They're getting into it. Okay, they're fighting over the machine. They drop to the machine. Cheeto dust everywhere. Okay. You could win a 1 in a million family adventure. Okay. But are they just... Was it just a promo? Or was it just a special flavor? I don't... Chat, I don't know what's going on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. No, I need to investigate this further. Okay, Collider had a article. Oh my god, this was from 2013. Yeah, okay. So it was a unique combination. It was salsa picante, chipotle cheddar, jalapeno cheddar, and regular cheddar. I never had these. Weird. Okay. Good to know. Also, I've never had these either, so I don't know what these are. Okay. Salsa and queso, I had once. Once. They were okay. I would have rather just eaten regular salsa and chips. Like tortilla chips with queso and tortilla chips with salsa. Not that they weren't great. They weren't the worst thing, but they weren't great. I would rather just something about the combination of Cheetos dust was almost like a little confusing. They're in C rank. Never had these. These are good. Okay. The Simplies, all right. Hear me out. Even though they're puffs, there's something about the airiness that works in the favor of this flavor. Because white cheddar is a very calm, neutral flavor. You add a little jalapeno, and you've got something that stands out a bit more. But they're still puffs. But they're air-fried puffs. They're simple puffs. They're not bad. So they go in B. They're just decent. Meanwhile, the Simply baked puffs are just nothing special. Just imagine the same Cheetos puffs, but air fried. I would guess maybe C if I had to do it, but they have a slight advantage because they're also white cheddar as well too. But still. Now, here we go. This is how you do it. Take the white cheddar thing, make them crunchy, air fry them as a very simple light snack that goes with any dip. S rank, easy. Much healthier, less salt, less crap, less filters. Just solid. Snowflakes are in the same range as the bag of bones. They're not... They're there for the gimmick. It's just different shapes. They're fine. They're harmless. But the snowflakes are just... Yeah. Now, Stars was different. I had Stars once. Because I never expected them to do a ranch flavor Cheetos often. They were unique. But they were kind of weird because ranch is not a flavor I would typically usually have with Cheetos. But it was a welcome addition. They're almost kind of in the same rank as like the Simply White Cheddar Puffs. In fact, dare I say, I'm going to do this. We're going to fix this slightly. I would rather have the Stars over the Puffs. But for a ranch flavored Cheetos, they were okay. They were just kind of mid. But they were okay. So, never had these two. So, what are these? Never had these. Never had these. Star Wars Twisteds. And Holiday Twisteds. There's not much of a difference between those Twisteds. I would say... Let me look them up. Okay. So remember when I said that there was the gimmick of basically turning like your tongue green in different colors? Yeah, they were still doing this in like the mid to late 2000s too, in some cases. Not often, but sometimes. There's even a commercial that's tied to them as well too. So, like, they're okay. I like the Twisteds, but the problem is that they tasted more like the Puffs than they did regular Crunchy. And that was the thing, was that they just had almost a similar consistency to the Puffs. But the reason why the Crunchy Twisteds worked better was because of that crunchy sort of flavor to it. And it was a lot more packed. Whereas the other Twisteds, they weren't bad, but they're like a slight step above the Puffs. I would say kind of the same thing. For the two Twisteds, the holiday one and um the Star Wars one, they're just a slight notch above the Puffs. Also, they didn't have any unique flavors to them. They were just kind of like two rebrands, if you will. So, they still turned your tongue green, but, you know, that was the gimmick. So, and again, if you're going to do a gimmick flavor, like, do them crunchy. Pretty simple. Again, never had the Hornados. Twists or twirls. Twirls were kind of the same as Twisteds, just without turning your tongue green. They were about the same. I would say B, because they're a step above and they don't turn your tongue green, and there's not that like colored dye, and they're a little denser, like in terms of crunch factor. But yeah, B. Bites were decent as well too. I remember liking the bites. Bites goes in B because again, it was essentially if you took the flavor shots but just made like a whole bag of them, which actually I'll probably rank those above the flavor shots. Just instead of like a small packet you throw in your pocket, it's a whole bag worth. So there you go. Wild habanero. These were spicy. These were dangerous. These were hot. Oh, wild habanero. I sweat a little bit just thinking about wild habanero. Just, Cheetos. Cheers. All right. God, I miss the wild habaneros. Fuck. Okay. Another S rank. Because, like, here's the thing. Take the regular crunchy Cheetos, skip all the gimmicky bullshit, make them white cheddar. Done. Easy. Easy. You've achieved perfection. In fact, dare I say, as much as I really, 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 really like them, they're in the top 3. Next to, you know, the Chipotle Ranch and cheddar jalapeno. Easily. 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 Just white cheddar. Okay. Again, Puffs. Same concept. They just... Puffs, but white cheddar and winter shaped. These were just They're just almost they're lower than the other Puffs because the problem is I felt like they were forcing the gimmick. Does that make sense? They were like forcing you to buy them for the gimmick of wacky winter shapes. And they're puffy. But meh. Okay. X's and O's were fun. And I remember snacking on these as a kid. And I have a core memory with these. Because the X's and O's, I remember the Star Wars promotion with the 3D puzzle pieces, and I remember desperately snacking on these a ton for the puzzle pieces to collect all of them. If you're going to do a gimmick where it's the same flavor, same consistency, same crunchiness, but just wacky shapes, you do this. This is how you do it. And you add a prize inside. If you add a prize inside, like an incentive to buy them, you had my money as a kid. Again, I do love Flaming Hots. I do. I do love Flaming Hots. But I like the regular. The extra Flaming Hots are extra spicy. But the only difference is that they just double, if not triple down on the Flaming Hot powder. That's really all it is. Yes, they're extra hot, but only because of the powder. And it's the same powder. It's not a unique powder. So because of that, yeah, they're good, but they're not great. B tier. Zingers. I remember trying these. I remember trying the Zingers. Okay, we're gonna do this lightning round. Salsa picante is B. I remember the picante being really good. That was A. I remember the Cajun Ranch one actually being S tier. That was like the best one. Well, I guess there's 2 different versions of the ranch one. I guess. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. S tier. S tier for the Mighty Zingers. So the Cajun Ranch one was actually really good. Because again, ranch and Cheetos is not a combination I ever thought would work. But that little extra Cajun seasoning elevates it to S tier. And they're still crunchy. They still had a consistency that wasn't like just poofy flavor. The picantes are good too, but picantes only taste good with certain things. And then the salsa picante compared to the regular like green picante sauce is like, I'm gonna say again a little lower. So also I still need to fix this. Hang on. Let's do bam. Let's put you down here. Let's put you kind of in the middle. There we go. But yeah, the zingers are good. You should get them if you find them. Zigzags were, again, them trying to do a gimmick. But the gimmick failed because they didn't really have prizes and they were just shaped differently and they were a little too poofy. So, D. Wild Ranch. I remember this. Also kind of C tier. Again, ranch can work. Chipotle, like ranch can work with Cheetos. But it's gotta be paired up with something unique. This was just ranch. And as such, it was just alright. I would probably even say low B tier. No, C tier. Like high C tier, low B tier. That's fair. I trade these. They're okay. The Damatillas are not bad. But they're not nothing to write home about. So there you go. Double cheese. Yeah, I liked these. Well, they're kind of like, I would say right above the X's and O's. And I would actually move the popcorn up a bit more. I would say, yeah, there we go. What was this one? Again, Twisteds. Yeah, kind of the same spot. A rank. Okay, poppers. These are okay. The cheddar one is eh. The barbecue one is a little more unique. So C. And I feel like the poppers are kind of weirdly bordering between puffy and not puffy. So they're in that weird gray area. The chili cheese fries. Never had these. I need to find them one day. The corn twists from Chester's. I've never had these. I've had the snack pack. These are B tier. Chester's popcorn. I've never had. I need to try them. The flaming hot fries. Behold, the one flaming hot thing that I used to devour a ton. Like a ton. Were these. Not that I didn't like the flaming hot crunchies. They're good. But the fries were a little more like concentrated. Does that make sense? A little more concentrated on the dust, a little more concentrated on the like the crunch factor, and you could eat a lot more of them because they were like thinner in a weird sense and just a little more satisfying, and that crunch factor. So S rank. Bacon cheddar was just not a fan of bacon. Never been much of a bacon guy. I've never had these poppers. I would probably devour them. Chester's popcorn I've never had. Puffcorn I have had. I didn't know there was a difference, but I would say about C tier as well too. Same with these. These are just kind of white cheddar versions, so C tier. And same with the Flaming Hots. I guess I would put here, if we're really doing this, I would say probably the white cheddars are good. The regular puffcorn is about low C tier, and there you go. The Flaming Hots are C, and those two are B. Never had these. We're almost done. Never had these. Because these are all international flavors that I've never had. I don't even know. I think these were the asteroids again. I'm going to put the asteroids kind of... I'm going to put them here. Like low C tier. Again, it's just flavor shots, but in more of a bottle now than on the go snacks. So, never had these, never had these, never had these, never had these. I don't think I've had those X's and O's before. These look different. Never had these. F, or not F, D, because again, they're just puffs disguised. I tried the Sweetos, I think once. I like the Sweetos. They're okay. I never did like a review on them, but yeah. And then finally the new flavors. Buffalo is actually pretty solid. That goes in A tier. I like them a lot more than I realize. The Flaming Hot pretzels are kind of B tier, whereas the regulars are like also B tier. And there we go. That is every single Cheetos thing that I could think of. That is it. We are done. That is the Cheetos tier list. My God. Cheetos semi-ultimate tier list. Dangerously cheesy. In all shapes and sizes. Download image. And there you go. There you have it. We have done it. Dangerously cheesy. So there you go. That's it. We have done it. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna post the tier list, as I usually do, on Twitter and Discord. So, give me a moment, as I am going to. There we go. I'm now officially working on posting it on the socials. Tier lists. New post. Upload media. Boom. Boom. It is now officially posted on both the Discord and the Twitter. So, there you have it, folks. That about does it for the Cheetos tier list. Now, I did say that there were a few things after the tier list. So I'm going to kind of discuss those real quick. In fact, here, consider this a bonus, if you will. I'm wondering if I can just do this real quick. Give me one sec. Cheese, 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 cheese. Bink. We're going dark for just a sec. Don't worry. Don't freak out. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just don't freak out. Boom. There you go. Okay. So, So the last thing we're going to do before I end this stream is this. I wanted to briefly discuss some of the stuff that I never got around to doing, that you might even see another day in the future. So the reason why we didn't get around to trying the other two flavors of the mac and cheeses is because apparently the two flavors, cheesy bacon and like what was it? Extra cheddar? I think is what it was. Here. Yeah, 4 cheese and cheesy bacon. So I contacted Cheetos on Twitter and was like, "Hey, I can't find these 2 flavors anywhere in my state." And I tried to order them online, but they just do not exist. Can you help me out? So, turns out, they flat out just don't carry the other flavors in my state, in where I live. They are just gone. Like, flat out. They carry the for cheesy flavor only at Dollar General stores. But the closest one is out of town. And it's quite a bit of a drive. And I didn't have enough time to go and buy a box of the 4 cheesies. So I plan on buying it one of these days and continuing the saga. I'm going to do like a separate event for it, if that makes sense. So that you guys know. However, the one that escapes me is the cheesy bacon. Turns out, the closest store that sells the cheesy bacon flavor is all the way in Perryton, Texas. Or I have to go to Jonesboro, Arkansas. Yes. I am not joking you. You think I am pulling a fast one on you. But I have, and I think I actually saved it, the actual screenshot I took of this. Yeah, you can see it. Right there. Perryton, Texas, and Jonesboro, Arkansas. I am not about to travel all the way to Texas or Arkansas just for a box of mac and cheese to try and film. I'm not doing it. That's not happening. So, as much as I want to continue the saga, that's going to be a no from me. That's going to be a straight up absolute no. So that's just not happening. Like, at all. Period. But that's the reason why I couldn't get around to doing the mac and cheese. Not that I didn't want to, but it just ain't happening. Like, flat out. Now, interestingly enough, I will say this. I was going to originally cover the Flaming Hots. However, I kind of want to do that as like a segment for if I do a sequel to this, because the way I see it is this. I'm not that big of a fan of Flaming Hots, minus very particular products that you saw on the tier list. So I would only buy them as a one and done type of thing. And I would probably only buy them in like the very small bags, just for the segment and the video. But I want to cover the Flaming Hots another day as its own thing. Especially considering I already tried 3 different Flaming Hot products in one of the segments already. Like, I tried the Tangy Chili Fusion. I tried the Pepper Puffs, and we tried the Carolina Reaper ones. So, like, we already covered that, in a sense. So for me, it's like, I didn't want to do, like, 2 Flaming Hot ones. So, but that's the reason why. Now, there is one more bonus thing that I wanted to show you guys before we ended this. There is, believe it or not, a alternate take of the Tangy Chili Fusion that I recorded a while ago. I guess when the flavor first came out. But I didn't, like, I for some reason just didn't release it. Or maybe I never put it online. Or maybe I just forgot about it. Or maybe I'm just stupid. So, whatever the case may be, I didn't realize that I filmed it separately before I had filmed the triple taste test. So what I'm about to show you is never before seen an alternate take on the Tangy Chili Fusion. That's a much older take. This was shot of March last year. March 1st last year. So this is officially a year ago. So, and again, this must have been when the flavor just came out. So I'm gonna play that for you. After I... There is a bug that I am straight up just trying to kill at this point that's making me mad. I don't know how a bug got on my desk, but I want to kill it. I want it dead. Okay, if I see it again, I'm gonna kill it. I'll slap it. Anyhow, so I'm gonna show you the alternate take. Here in just a sec. I want to put some stuff away. I'm gonna throw that away. So yeah, I'm gonna play it pretty much right now. But I'll have to tweak the audio. So give me 1 sec.
Hey everybody.
Yeah, so you're not hearing anything.
Welcome back
right
to
now,
another one of
hopefully.
these taste test segments.
Um,
I have no clue
but,
where I'm gonna put
yeah.
this one. It's somewhere, but you'll see it eventually.
I need to tweak it. Hang on.
So, as you all know,
Okay, so here we go. bonus scene, bonus alternate take of the tangy chili fusion. I think this was meant to be filmed around a Crashbox episode or a segment of something else. So if you hear any comments of like, other shows or other projects, that's probably why. So enjoy.
Hey everybody. Welcome back to another one of these taste test segments. I have no clue where I'm gonna put this one. It's somewhere, but you'll see it eventually. Um, so as you all know, we've featured a certain Chester Cheetah on social media, on the different socials, quite a bit. But I love spicy stuff, and I can't eat spicy stuff that often anymore. But I was still curious about this, and I saw it in stores about a couple weeks back. But I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try it. So with me, I have a bag of Cheetos Flaming Hot Tangy Chili Fusion. So they looked good. Um, and I don't know if these are like considered still new or if they're new-ish. But I wanted to try it. Because in an effort to find something that actually is hot enough to kick my ass and still keep me alive is an endless cycle. So, and needless to say, I would like to find things with a little more bang for their buck with heat. So, really tired. So, with that in mind, let's give it a go. Give them a quick sniff. Ooh, they actually do smell kind of nice. They smell a little hot, but I smell more of the chili flavor than I do like any heat, so to speak. So they smell pleasant. Anyhow, with that in mind, uh, Cheetos Flaming Hot Tangy Chili Fusion. Here we go. Those actually have a good flavor. It's definitely a little tangy, like it says. I taste a little bit of the flaming hot heat, like as you're munching on it, and then as it's going down. So the heat's there, but I would say it's a lot. I would say not diluted, but a less hotter than say the other Cheetos. If you want something that's actually hot, get the extra flaming hots, even the regular or the puffs, or some of the other like flaming hot stuff that they've done with like jalapenos and habaneros and stuff before. But this isn't bad. This is a decent little like something to kind of munch on if you need a little bit of a spicing kick. So I'm gonna try like one more just to see. Maybe I'll let it sit on my tongue for a bit. Hang on. Look, good flavor. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. It's got like a tangy kind of like lime. I wouldn't say lemony, but like just a tangy sort of like semi citrusy kick with like I want to say like a roasted chili kind of taste. But it's not bad. It's pretty good. I don't think I'd catch myself inhaling a whole bag of these. But I would definitely snack on this. This is pretty good overall. So, um, I don't know. Maybe like a 5, 6 on the heat scale for me. So, other than that, it's not bad. So, I know it's kind of a shorter one. Normally, I know I run these up to at least 10 minutes or more, but I just wanted to give it a quick try. So, that about does it for that. It's not bad. If you find it, check it out yourself. So, that about does it. See ya. Hey, everyone.
So there you go. Cheetos. Yeah, it was an alternate take that I guess I forgot about. I don't remember if I threw it on social media or not. But there you go. It's now in the ether. So I think I never wound up using it, or just because it was so. I wasn't that enthusiastic about it, I guess. And I was hoping to bring more energy to it, but I didn't. So, I don't know. Anyhow, so that's about it. We've done this for about 3 hours. That's all the Cheetos stuff I've got. So, I threw in some behind the scenes trivia in between. We showed off all the segments. We did the tier list. We looked at even a commercial or two. Solid stream, I would think. So, anyhow, that about wraps it up for me. I got a couple phone calls I gotta make, and then that about does it. And I will see you guys another day for some more hyperfixations on other things that I'm excited about. Because I wasn't planning this. This was all kind of just a week-long weird hyperfixation on all things Cheetos. So, and look, Frito-Lay. If you ever want to hook a guy up, look, I'm no, I'm not no Marky Devo or, Soda Seekers or, Lay Epic, super popular, millions of followers, food blogger. But content is still content. I would love to get sent maybe, I don't know, some free Cheetos or Cheetos products or taste tests or samples or swag or, I don't know, a hat, a t-shirt, something. Maybe. Who knows? I'm not that cool, but I try to be. I remember they continue living dangerously cheesy. I don't know. I just felt like saying that. All right. That's